Hello, and how's everyone doing today? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, if you're returning, if you're glad to have you back, and welcome to another episode of Fallout 4. In the last episode, we took part in the battle for Bunker Hill. I did not attack the Institute. Obviously, I didn't attack the Brotherhood. I did, however, attack the railroad. They were stopping us, or trying to stop us from uh, completing our objective, which was to eliminate the synths. Um, after in which we went and talked to Sean. He was not pleased with how things turned out, and he still said he didn't know how the Brotherhood got involved, which is very obvious. But um, after still being kind of rude to us and basically revealing that our existence to him is just in a whole experiment, pretty much, Um, he then wanted us to go and take part in the directors' meeting in the Institute. Because for some reason he keeps pushing us to try and be the next leader. But with his attitude and, seemingly view toward us, I don't know why he'd want us to. But anyways, let's see how that meeting goes, and then we'll go from there. So grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and let's get into this. Alrighty, so let's head to the Institute and do this director's meeting and see exactly how this is going to turn out.
What I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
I mean, it wasn't that much of a problem. I mean, I didn't really have all that much of a problem, uh, you know, getting them back. Mm. Okay.
Let's get this directorate meeting over with before we speak further. Well, it's important.
Okay. If you say so.
You call this a clean floor? Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
My apologies, sir. I was issued a defective cleansing unit.
Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of hubris around here lately, and I don't care for it.
Okay.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Excuse me, but, sir, are you sure this is, well, the proper time to be discussing that? Considering, given all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
No, I haven't heard anything.
I have no idea what that is.
I'll admit I'm relieved. It's intended to be something of a classified project, which I'm sure means everyone already knows about it. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
um, what kind of compromises are we talking about here?
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
What kind of reactor?
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please. As I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
No!
Can't be
Please,
serious.
everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
Oh, you're dying?
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
My compliments on getting B592 back to us so quickly.
Safety first. Remember that.
Okay.
I couldn't be more proud of what we've achieved.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
You know, to be completely honest, I don't want to. I'm not gonna lie to him.
Sean. I don't want to run this place.
Are you so sure? You seem to have a natural talent for leading by example, getting things done. This will suit you. And I think we can both agree the Institute will need the guidance. There's no question that some of the Directorate, and the Institute at large, will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead, for all of us. But for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Alrighty. So, let's see here. Mass fusion. Talk with Ali Fillmore. Okay, so we're not going to do that. Because that quest is basically going to lock us into the Institute. Which obviously we don't want to do that. So then what we're going to do is we are going to give this holotape to Proctor Ingram, and we're going to start working more so with the Brotherhood now. Okay, so what we're going to do is... Oh, wait, we still have to bring this serum to Virgil. I thought I did that. Okay, so before we do that, we're going to go to Virgil, which I thought that I already did that. To be honest, I recorded a bunch of videos and I thought I saved them and uploaded them, but in reality, I accidentally deleted them all. So these videos here from 90 to 94, I'm actually redoing them. So, because I have a bunch of videos already, like 95 and so on, already done. But I accidentally deleted these ones, so I have to go back. So I had to go back and re-record these videos. Obviously before I can upload 95 and stuff. So it's more so trying to figure out where I'm at. So I thought we already did giving the thing to Virgil. So what we're going to do now then is we're going to go give him the serum now. Okay, so let's go and do that. Here, it's Virgil.
I'm glad to see the relay didn't completely vaporize you.
Should it have?
Did you expect it to?
No, of course not. It was far more likely that it would just blow up. But it didn't. You made it in. Were you able to find the serum?
Yes, I did.
Got it right here.
That's it. That's really it. All right. Let's see. Retrovirus has matured nicely. Density gradient is high. Recombinant counter-intron sequences look stable. Transcriptive exon strands have formed.
That's good.
That's good.
It is. But there's only one way to know if it works. All right. Here we go. And now, we wait.
How long?
How long will it take?
I don't know. Nothing like this has ever been tried before. I'm going to rest for a while. I'm back in a few days, maybe a week, and... well, I guess we'll see. In any event, you kept your end of our bargain. Thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. Okay, so now that we've done that, now we can, let's see here. Mass fusion, we're not doing that. Okay, so we're going to give the holotape to Proctor Ingram. So let's do that. Alright. Alright, so let's see what Ingram has to say. Oh, she's in here. Let's see. Give her the holotape.
Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. You know, It's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the Interceptor would do to you.
I was pretty confident. I was, because I worked on it, so.
I wasn't worried. After all, I built the device myself.
I have confidence in everything I built, too. But that's because I'll only deal with technology that I understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
Will I reveal a weakness?
Hopefully, it'll reveal a weakness in their defenses.
That would be the best-case scenario. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, I've got a new assignment for you. So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you about it?
Nothing.
He didn't tell me anything.
Makes sense. We've been trying to keep it under wraps until the time was right. Come on. It's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Pridwin might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded.
Wow.
In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
Yeah, definitely no problem.
No problem. I'm sure this only looks worse than it actually is.
I wish I had your confidence, because this is not going to be easy. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's going to take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get them working again. The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it, it blows itself out.
Oh, there has to be a way.
There's got to be a way to solve that.
I do all the maintenance on the Pridwin, so you'd think it'd be a snap. As much as I hate to admit it, Prime's power systems are out of my league. Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system, we can get the big guy moving.
Oh man, that's awesome that they have him back. I don't blame Madison for not wanting to work on Prime again. I mean, she didn't really want to build a weapon, or at least work on a weapon. In the last game, in Fallout 3. Although, and this is the thing where they kind of, Proctor Ingram was a little bit wrong. Madison Lee obviously did not, did not create Liberty Prime. She helped get him back working. Because Liberty Prime was built by the U.S. military to assist in the liberation of Anchorage, if you guys remember that. So they kind of got that wrong. Or at least, Proctor Ingram has the information wrong. She probably meant the team to get him working again. Because the Brotherhood didn't build him. They found him, in the Pentagon, which is the Citadel. And the Brotherhood worked for a long time to get him working again. And obviously when Dr. Lee left Project Purity, joined the Brotherhood to help get Prime working, which she did not want to do. Which is why she left to go to the Institute. So I don't blame her for not wanting to come back and work on him 10 years later.
If you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
Excuse me, you promised to help.
You promised you'd help us.
You're right, I did. But you neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime. I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Well, perhaps you want to avenge Virgil. You know, he basically died. Well, she thinks he's dead.
If not for the Brotherhood, do it for Dr. Virgil.
What they did to Dr. Virgil was cruel. It was wrong. How could I be so blind? You really know how to push my buttons, don't you? Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty Prime back online, but we'll get it done.
All right, perfect. So now I get to talk to Ingram. We got to go back and tell her that she'll work on him. Basically, just because it's like, hey, avenge Virgil. She's like, okay, I'll use him to destroy Prime. Or destroy the Institute, not Prime. Okay, so let's tell her, hey, she's gonna work.
Proctor Ingram.
Well, things are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Charming, isn't she?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry about that, Ingram.
Don't worry about it. We might be butting heads on a few issues, but I've dealt with worse. Besides, Dr. Lee's worth all the aggravation. We're working with one of Prime's original designers. I don't see it getting any better than that. In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnetic actuators.
Anything you need.
Sure, anything you need.
That's what I love about you. You're ready to leap into action, and I bet you don't have the faintest idea what I'm talking about. The actuators are what allows Liberty Prime's arms and legs to move. Prime's new limbs are way too heavy for the simple hydraulic pistons he had in the past. We're gonna have to rip those out, construct a brand new system using electromagnets, and install them in his limbs. What we need you to do is build the actuators for us.
Now that you know what the actuators are, you need to know how to make them. These are the plans and the materials list. Don't lose them.
Now, before you get that look on your face, you'll be happy to know that we have plenty of the raw materials on that list right here at the airport. The only thing we need you to head out and find is a high-powered magnet. According to Proctor Quinlan, the best place to find one is in any of the ruined hospitals around the Commonwealth. We've already sent out a few teams to find the rest of the high-powered magnets you'll need. They should be back by the time you return.
Once you start building the actuators, we need one for each limb, so you'll need to make a total of 4. Good luck.
Okay, so what we have to do is we have to read the plans first, because when I first tried to do this, I was like, why isn't it working? Oh, there's my T60. Yeah, you need to actually read the plans. Where is it? Here we go. Bloop. Do. There, now we can build them. We can just scrap all of this. Okay, why isn't it working? Because I read the list. What? Okay. Is it in resources? No. Defense power. No. That doesn't make any sense. Actuators. Okay, we read this. Here's what you need. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I know what I gotta do. I have to get a magnet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to a sanctuary, grab a magnet, and come back because I know I have some. Because we've been. It says to go to hospital to get it, but you know, I'm just gonna go to sanctuary, go to my workbench and grab one, and then I'll be back here to build it. Finally, build those actuators. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now let's go back and talk to Ingram.
My duty shift was long. I'm glad we're making a difference out here.
If it was up to me, I'd take every barrel.
Proctor Ingram?
That's all 4 actuators. Delivered and done. Nice work.
Right on schedule. I've completed the restoration of Prime's basic functions, and he's ready to go. In fact, it's getting difficult to explain to the system why it can't move right now.
Well, as soon as my scribes get those actuators in place, we'll have his arms and legs installed in no time. Which brings me to your next assignment. It won't be long before Prime can walk and talk, but he's missing one last important element. His nukes. Without them, his offensive systems aren't operating at peak capacity.
No problem.
Shouldn't be a problem. Just tell me where they are.
I wish I could. Prime's bomb pack is fitted for Mark 28 nuclear bombs. The same type of bombs that were dropped from aircraft during the Great War. The Commonwealth was a major staging area for the military's air force, so we assumed we wouldn't have trouble finding them. But since we arrived, our scouting teams haven't located a single bomb.
That's going to be a problem. Without a fully loaded nuke pack, Prime won't have the firepower to take on the Institute.
Build them?
Can I build the nukes like I built the actuators?
I could build you 1,000 nuke casings, right now, but we've got nothing to put inside them. The Mark 28s have a specialized nuclear payload that requires the correct balance of fissile materials in order for them to detonate properly. In other words, I'd love to mix you a cocktail, but I'm all out of liquor. But before you give up hope, there's actually a silver lining here. Proctor Quinlan has located some records regarding a military installation, which was used as a nuclear weapons storage facility. We're fairly certain this included a stockpile of the Mark 28s. The catch is that the installation is located somewhere within the glowing sea.
You're fairly certain?
What do you mean you're only fairly certain? Are they in there or not?
The glowing sea is so heavily irradiated, it's giving us echoed readings and false positives. We're just gonna have to trust the records on this one. Scribe Halen's established a communications point on the frontier of the glowing sea. I suggest you head out there first, and establish a signal protocol with her so that the nukes can be airlifted out once you've located them. Hopefully, by the time you've returned, we'll be ready to wake Prime up, and you can say hello. Good luck, Knight.
Perfect. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to leave this episode right here. And I think what we're going to do is, since we're getting the bombs and doing this and doing that, we're definitely going to get our power armor, that's for sure. I think we're going to bring Paladin Dance with us. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to sit here, we're going to save up. Alrighty, so that was today's episode of Fallout 4. Um, it sucks that Sean is sick. You know, I feel bad for him. It's unfortunate and all that. But it still doesn't pretty much bypass all of the terrible things that he's done. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, I get the feeling that he knows all the bad things that he's done. Just through terminals and obviously through Virgil and everything too, like just everything like. So unfortunately, it's like, yeah, he's sick and everything, but I don't really have any sympathy for him, just the way he conducts himself. I'm glad that Liberty Prime is back. We haven't seen him in a while. I'm glad, for those of you who were sad that he was destroyed, are probably very happy to see that he's being rebuilt and getting ready to be used against the Institute. Yeah, so we're going to bring Dance with us in the next episode, like I said, to go to the glowing sea and grab the nukes and stuff. So, if you enjoyed this episode, feel free to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, all that fun kind of stuff, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Fallout 4.